guys, so today I have got some chrome powders that I've received from a company called Value Makers. They come in a set of 6 and each one comes in its own little baggie with an applicator brush as well. And each of the pots is sealed individually for hygiene reasons. Now when I first opened these, they are really super sparkly and glittery, which is lovely, but when you're doing chrome it tends not to work so well, so I was a little bit concerned, but I needn't have been. So here I followed the normal chrome application technique using a non-wipe top coat, and here are the colours as they come out over black. So you can see, going from the left to the right, we've got a really beautiful turquoisey colour, a fairly deep royal blue, a really rich purple, a nice shimmery green. There you go, you can see them a little bit closer there. And then you've got an amazing gold and silver chrome, and those gold and silvers are absolutely stunning on. Really impressed with them. So the next thing I'm going to do is do a little tutorial for you of some nails that I did on myself recently. Now it's using these nail stencils from What's Up Nails, and I received these from nailartuk.co.uk. They come in a little pouch and you get 12 stencils altogether. On the back you've got all of the instructions of how to use them successfully, and I should point out that I'm using these over nails that have been gel polished and a no wipe top coat has already been applied and cured on them. So the first thing I'm going to do, and you can't see this very well because it's gone off camera a bit, but I'm just basically peeling off the stencils. And this was a little bit fiddly because the tiny little stars on the design kind of wanted to stay in stencil rather than coming off on the backing sheet. But it was so worth it once they were actually off. These stencils are really good. They're made from quite a thick vinyl, which means that they're not going to rip easily or tear easily. They hold their shape really well when they're peeled off. They don't stretch or warp at all. And they're really sticky as well, which means that when you actually apply them to the nail, they're not going to lift off at all. So what I'm doing here, you really won't be able to see it very well, but I'm basically positioning it onto my nail, getting it where I want it, and then I'm going to use the centre of my finger to really gently pat down, because you don't want to be touching the no wipe top coat too much. And really pushing down at the edges to make sure that I'm not going to be getting any lifting or any gaps which the product may flood into. First thing I'm doing here is applying some of this pigment from Perfect Pearls and Pigments.co.uk onto my other nails. I'm doing an accent nail with the stencil. So that one literally just rubs on top really nice and easily. You don't have to be too precious with this sort of pigment, it really goes on nicely. Then I'm going to be using the gold and also the nice sort of turquoisey peacocky colour to create a bit of a gradient. Now when you're using these pigments with stencils, you need to sort of pat rather than rub, and the reason for that is if you rub, there's a chance it's going to warp the image, which you don't want. And then I'm going into the turquoisey colour and I'm doing the same thing and overlapping them slightly in the middle. So I'm patting it on, making sure it's really well covered, like that. The next thing I'm going to do is just get my little duster brush and dust off any excess whilst the stencil is still on. And then I can get my tweezers and really gently peel it off. The reason you need to dust off before you remove it is because if there's any dust left on the stencil, it's going to fall onto the nail when you remove it and wreck your design. And you can see, just give it a quick tidy up there, it gives a really beautifully sharp shapes. You can see all the tiny little stars on the nails there. It came out really well. So I'm just going to go ahead and carry on doing all my other nails with the Chameleon pigment. I really love these Chameleon pigments, they are so gorgeous, really beautiful. And I would also like to say these stay on really well as well. I've had these on now for over a week and they haven't chipped or scuffed at all, and that is because I've top coated them twice. That's twice, everybody. Top coat twice and you will find they don't lift at all. So I'm just going to use my brush again just to sort of give it a fairly rough brushing, which not only busts up the shine but it also gets rid of any excess, avoiding that glittery finish. And then to finish off, I'm going to go ahead and top coat, and this time I'll be using the Semilac No Wipe top coat. This one has been my favourite for a long time, but just recently I've actually had a product sent to me by another brand, and I think it may be my next favourite. I've got loads of different non-wipe top coats. I've tried lots of different ones, and I think this new one I've been sent, it has even beat the Semilac one. I think I might do a video soon comparing all of the different non-wipe top coats I've got, doing a plain chrome so you can see the differences. So as I said, I'm just going to go ahead and top coat, and I'm floating my brush. That's really important because I don't want to pull those pigments around too much, so floating the brush over really helps. And then all you need to do is cure those and you are done. So I hope this has been a useful tutorial for you today, guys. Please do check out my website and follow me on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter, and I'll see you again very soon for another video.